This is Brian Myers from JC Off-Road, and I just been overhauled. You're listening to XJ Talk Show.
Well, welcome back to the XJ Talk Show, the first show of 2015. That's 2015, which would be 2015 years since, I don't know, zero? So Josh will be joining us here momentarily, and we will be get this show going. I will always say getting this show going, and I just don't think that's proper English. I've only recently learned English, so that's my excuse. But we'll have another Wrangler segment tonight and some other goodies for you guys to listen to. Yeah, it looks like my audio is a little hot. We'll get all that stuff squared away here momentarily and get the show started, hopefully around 10, another probably 10 or 15 minutes. If you're watching on the YouTube channel, youtube.com/xjtalk, you might want to go ahead and join us over at xjtalkshow.com. We've got a little chat room set up there where you can chat with us and the other folks watching the show. And Skype made a change on us again, and I think Josh has already tried calling me. And I didn't see it. Bastard Skype people. Alright, well, listen to the music until I get Josh on here. Okay, Josh has joined us. Welcome, Josh. And you know what? I'm seeing your background is still Christmassy. You're one of the neighbors down the street that never takes the Christmas lights down. This stays up all year long. Always ready, ahead of the game. So let me see. I think I can just, I must have cheated instead of creating a new panel for you here on the video. The video mix, yeah, I bet you I did. And said, I'll have 2 weeks to fix that while we're on the break. And, of course, fixes it at the last minute. So you might want to have a look at the no-shows if you haven't already. I've added a few things there. Okay, so there. That's the same one I played for you, the 4.5 or 5.4 seconds. So it's not there. And I need to get Tammy's video up here on the board, so telling you so you can help me remember since I'm doing something else and talking. Okay, so it's not that one. It's not that one. I was surprised it's not that one. Let me look at that one again. Oh, it is this one. I was just looking in the wrong place. Change button. And I wonder what it was called. It should be the same as mine. You sound like you're feeling better. Well, you could tell it was different, but it worked out okay. You know, you're talking about healing quicker. It reminds me, I used to be able to heal in 15 minutes, but not anymore. Oh, good cookie. Hey, you're not supposed to do that with a cookie? Oh, what the hell. I'm getting closer. I saw that. Let's see if I can screw that up. Oh, good. That'll give me time to get all settled down and reading something. You can just if I screw up, just look at me with the eyes like, you know, like kind of like, what are you doing? You know, that type of like, come on, man. You know. Okay, I can't find it, so I'm going to have to go see where it is on mine. I didn't put it where it belongs. Oh, yeah, it's the background loop. Oh, it's in videos. No wonder. It's because it is a video, you dumbass. This is what happens when you miss the morning meetings. I love stealing from great comedians and David Letterman. Let's see. So, I'm in the right place now, right? Right? Images and videos. Oh, okay. That's what it is. This thinks it is a... Oh, that's fine. I need to change it here. That's why I couldn't find it. Yes, sir. That'll do her. Right there. That only took 10 minutes. That's what she said. So, let's see. This is the one I want up. And that should be fine. Back to the old backgrounds. Probably should have made one for 2015, but... oh well. Let's see, there was something else that I was going to mention. Actually, I was going to put it in the show notes. About us talking about... well, I think I'll just drag the video over here before I forget about that one. Yeah, I posted below a direct link to the video and chat room, right below it. But I did see that you had posted up there in the XJ Talk chat room. Okay, so now we've got. I put up the play along video that. Tammy made for her segment. The hardest working woman on this show. So I had a little chat with Tom, the guy who wrote this song and performed it. Whenever another friend from the Allison Rosen Is Your New Best Friend Ustream show told me about what happened with her on the Ace Man's podcast. And interesting little chat about just various odds and ends, and it wound up it being one of those things. Well, tell so-and-so I said hi, and tell so-and-so I said hi. You know, all the folks that used to be in the chat room, they were watching Allison's show. So if you guys don't know, that has a lot to do with the way we do our show here, is because of my my enjoyment of that Ustream show way back when. I don't see him on Twitter hardly at all, or Facebook for that matter. Oside, I believe he was just somebody that was there to laugh at my bad jokes in chat room. Yes, I don't think, and I'm more than happy to have charity work. How long have you been banking that one? Oh, excellent! Very good. I told you that Mark called me back today after speaking to him for about 30 minutes on the phone. Mark from Detours USA, and he calls me, and I'm looking at my cell phone, and I got a mouthful of sandwich, and I don't want to let it go to voicemail. He gets cranky, so I answered the phone and I said, "Hang on," and I said, "Sorry, had my mouth full, and as soon as I said it, he said, anybody I know? And I couldn't talk because I had to finish, chewing and swallowing. I said, you don't know her name. He goes, oh, that took you a long time. Actually, I just said, you don't know her. that's all right. I got him back. I guess maybe he was paying me back because I told him, I said, he was talking about how the forum stuff is great. Advertisement for your business on a forum is great, but it also can bite you on the ass because just one negative comment from somebody, found it or not, just because they got their panties in a bunch or something. And I'm paraphrasing, isn't what he said. And I said, well, Mark, you're lucky. You have great customer service as long as you don't know the person you're talking to. And there was a long pause, and he got it and started laughing. If you know the person you're talking to, there is no customer service. He just gives you a hard time constantly. That's all right because I can dish it out really well. I have to pull myself back. Oh, he does. He's a character, and if you deal with him, just he doesn't know you're a customer. Top-notch customer service, and it's just as soon as you've talked to him 3 times, it starts. That's right. It starts. You're a friend at that point. Now you're going to get a hard time. Alrighty. So, had a little chat with Dan last night. We've got that to play, and 2 voicemails. I think you probably saw that on there. I stuck that interview announcement thing, a little conversation with Dan there. Excuse me, boy, the chili is coming back on me. The interview announcement type thing right there. And then I figured once we got out of the playing the audio, I would say, or you would say something along the lines about, kind of doing the announcement of here's what you'll be listening for, something like this or whatever. So that's what that, and here is one of those 4x4, etc., etc. And then I'd play this, the one you've highlighted. Make sense? I think the little bit of the interview that Dan and I talk about will be enough. Get my dirty hat on. All right, so can't really think of anything else that we haven't covered that we don't have on the show notes. You want to get going? Well, I'll put some more music on, and I'll shut things up here to make it a little quieter. I remember what it was I was going to add to this. I'll do that, but let me just tell you real quick. What I wanted to do was explain to the audience about the live show and the podcast, the audio podcast, and when it's released. The live show is live on Thursdays at 10 p.m., or Wednesdays rather, and then it comes out audio-wise, iTunes, TuneIn, etc., Monday at midnight. Because I think we have a tendency, that's just every day, that's every week to us, but we do have new subscribers, new listeners all the time. I was just looking at that, and I think that probably would be a good place. Yeah. Let me see if I can type something up here real quick that we can kind of use as a go-by. Oh, and let me get my little picture that I took of my dinner tonight. It was homemade chili. Oh, no, I didn't even think about that. No, I quickly came in and came up here to... I quickly came in, saw the chili, put some Fritos in the bowl, and then put chili on top of it and a lot of cheese, and came up here and was getting ready to go to work, getting all the audio and video and everything ready for the show. Ate that bowl of chili, not working, just watching television, eating that bowl of chili. Sat here for about 3 seconds and went, I need a nap. So I went and had a nap, and then after I just set the alarm a little earlier so I could come up here and get everything done. Yes, I on my way home I stopped at Sam's Club and filled up for $1.79. No, I'm sorry, I misspoke because I was thinking of the 9 at the end. It was $1.72 a gallon. And then came home and there was chili on the stove ready to be eaten, and so I got gas and then working on getting some extra gas now. Really, it's been below $1. I mean, below $2 here for a couple of weeks. Well, you know, it's the Houston area, and Exxon and everybody else is here. That's what she said. Okay, so where would that picture be? If I was a picture, where would I be? No, I put it on here because I actually posted it up on Facebook. You know, that place that you're one of the co-administrators on, and I'm surprised you didn't see it. That's me giving Josh a hard time because he still doesn't have a Facebook account. He has an aversion. I have this theory, Josh, and my theory is that you don't want to be on Facebook, not because of all the promoting and stuff you used to have to do, doing the DJ thing. I think it has to do with you playing the strip clubs, and you don't want any of those girls finding you and causing any trouble in your new life using your new name. Because, you know, you had one of those driver's licenses that had somebody totally different, just in case. Yeah, baby, that's my real name, see? You can't fake a driver's license. Come to think of it, I was actually talking to Dan last night, prior to the other podcast, and I was talking to him about. I said, I don't know if you guys had caught it or not. They said something about your DJing abilities, and I was talking about how poor a job I do and how great a job you do on the show. And he said something along the lines of the DJing ability. And I said, yeah, and boy, I was sure shocked when I found out about the strip club things. And Dan starts laughing. He goes, that was hilarious. So that's what made me think of it tonight. You get a little uneasy when I start talking about it. And it's really hard for me not to talk about it constantly. Oh, nice. People that are waiting to watch the show are saying, "What the hell?" Well, I can put this on the screen. So put it back up there so they can see. So I see. Is that Chromoly? Now, he is going to color coordinate those D-rings with his paint job on his Wrangler, right? Oh, what steering box did you say that was? Oh, I heard Wrangler. Okay. Well, hold off on that, and we'll talk about it during chit chat. Doing it now? What the hell's wrong with you? You haven't done this show in 2 weeks, have you? I even have. Let me see if you can guess what this is. No idea? Oh, good. I'll talk about that during the chit chat segment. You see, that's how you tease. Now, if you had guessed right, I would have gone, "Oh man, that didn't work out the way I wanted it to work out at all." Hey, it's 10:15. It's time to start the show. All right, guys, we're going to start the show. Let's remember how to start the show. Let's see. Yep, I need to play this one and figure out which one I'm going to play. Yeah, we can do this. And the monkey presses the button. Okay. I do have to clean off this desk. I'm having a hard time getting to the digital audio recorder. Get my show notes in the right place. All right, ready to go? Oh, nope. I already forgot the disclaimer.
The XJ Talk Show is for entertainment purposes only. Any advice or information provided on this show should be verified by alternative sources.
I tell you what, I'm enjoying the hell out of that, Josh. No, the sound that's coming from you. It's a nice echoey thing. You not hearing it? Oh, you probably don't hear it because you're not getting the your audio fed back to you now. Hear that?
Yeah, I hear that.
Yeah. I would assume it's coming from you, but it could be something here. But you want to try? They're not hearing you? Oh, that's true. I should have had this back on. Go ahead and try calling back on Skype. Yeah, Josh and I were messing around with some stuff last night, and we're going to be making some audio changes, and I had a button that wasn't pressed, so that's why you couldn't hear him. But you should be able to hear Josh now.
Hopefully you guys can hear me, and hopefully Tony's only hearing one of me.
Yeah.
Oh, very good.
So let's get an audio check from the folks in the chat room and make sure they can hear you. It's going to be a few seconds before the video stream and audio stream catch up with where we are.
So I'll make sure you guys are hearing me now. I'm just going to go here and banter and just spew endless nonsense for just a few minutes while you guys go ahead and hopefully give us some feedback as to whether or not you can hear me. They said we can't hear Josh and video is gone now. That's because we started and then stopped the show, so that might be part of it.
Yeah,
hey,
you should see the banner. You should see the banner come back up.
All right, we just got confirmation that at least one person can hear me. So,
well, hell, one person. That's what we've had as an audience for most of the show's run. So that's plenty.
Listener base.
All right, so restarting the audio, and we'll redo the disclaimer. So another false start.
The XJ Talk Show is for entertainment purposes only. Any advice or information provided on this show should be verified by alternative sources prior to making any changes or modifications to your vehicle. We are not experts, just people that enjoy the Jeep hobby and don't mind talking endlessly about it. P.S. We love you.
Hey, studs. It's time for the XJ Talk Show. Now, here's my two favorite boys, Tony and Josh.
First Week in Jeep.
Well, the new Jeeps are not holding their value like they used to. When it comes to overall value, one of America's most iconic vehicles, the very symbol of rugged individualism, the poster child for off-roading, the very mecca of... Sorry, I got a little carried away there for a second. Anyways, this majestic vehicle should be avoided at all costs by any wise car buyer, says the one and only Consumer Reports magazine. Consumer Reports, I thought you had our back, man. What's up? It's the Jeep Wrangler Unlimited. That's right, all of them. Manufactured from 2007 to, well, now, which Consumer Reports says is the worst car value among any model. It leads a worst value list that includes a wide range of models by category, from the hapless Fiat 500C, and hey, isn't that the one that the Renegade's supposed to be made out of? To the hulking Mercedes-Benz GL350 Blue Tech. The Jeep, however, as we all know, is among the nation's, world's most beloved vehicles, especially by its owners. Nevertheless, Consumer Reports calls it a hard-riding, uncomfortable, unreliable, and here's my favorite one, ponderous, which means slow and clumsy because of great weight. It's a Jeep. For the love of all that is off-road, it's a frickin' Jeep. It's supposed to feel like that. It costs 77 cents a mile to operate, compared with 52 cents for the top-rated Toyota Camry Hybrid, because... we're obviously comparing apples to apples here. The value index rates cars, it's not a car for Jeep. Based on road test, predicted reliability, and 5-year ownership costs. If I can predict what's going to go wrong with my Jeep and when, I would be the king of the trail. Well, that or locked up and probed in some government laboratory facility, the likes of which only Nikki G has seen. Either way. Despite certain idiotic reports, and I emphasis on the reports, Jeep sales are up once again. No shock there. Chrysler December sales are actually up 20%, which gave a big shot to the auto industry as a whole, which rose 10% in December. The Fiat Chrysler Motor Company ended 2014 with a bang, and its December sales soared 20% in the U.S. alone during a month that proved the auto industry is on a recovery of its own. Automakers sold an estimated 16.5 million new cars and trucks in the U.S. last year, the most since 2006. In December, Fiat Chrysler continued to outperform the industry and capped off the year with broken records and plenty of bragging rights to boot, including a market share gain of about 1%. It was also the automaker's 57th consecutive month of year-over-year sales increases. pretty awesome in my book. The automaker's performance in December was driven by a 187% increase for the Chrysler 200 midsize sedan, as well as double-digit gains for the Ram 1500 pickup. And
what?
I said the
Oh God! Don't tell me.
All right, it was the Jeep Cherokee. Okay, the new Cherokee also had double-digit sale gains in December. You guys know just talking about that damn thing leaves a bad taste in my mouth, don't you? I'm taking one for the team over here, people. Come on. Hey, keep up the great work, guys. Really appreciate those news tips. Keep them coming in and keep those stories coming in as well. Big thanks to John and Jake for both submitting a story for This Week in Jeep. Hey, guys, if you would like to submit a story to be aired on This Week in Jeep, or if you have a response to any one of our stories that we've aired on This Week in Jeep, please give us a call or send an email to newstips@xjtalkshow.com.
xjtalk.com is where you go when you're not off-road. And now you can go to xjtalk.com when you're off-road too. Using your smartphone, install the Tap a Talk app, then search for XJ Talk. Take XJ Talk with you wherever you go. Jury duty, dinner with your spouse's parents, even, well, anywhere you need your XJ Talk fix.
I know you've heard us talk about Amazon on the podcast before, but have you heard about our new game? What? It's a lot of fun, and we want you guys to play along. All you have to do is go to xjtalk.com or xjtalkshow.com and click on the Amazon banner there on the main page. This takes you right to Amazon, where you can buy any crazy little thingamajig to join in on the fun. Amazon gives us a list every week of what you guys are buying, but we don't get to know who it is that's buying it. As an added bonus, you get the same great price you always would, and Amazon is going to give the show a small pittance for you playing along. So let's all have some fun. The XJ Talk Show and Amazon.com.
My name's fucking Audrey, kid, and you're listening to the XJ Talk Show.
Hey, today's podcast is brought to you by Audible.com. Over 150,000 titles to choose from for your iPhone, Android, Kindle, or even your MP3 player. Get a free audiobook download and a 30-day free trial at www.audibletrial.com/XJTalkShow.
Well, Josh, tell us what we know about xjtalk.com.
Who are we, Tony? Who are we indeed?
Well, who do we think we are?
Just a couple of knuckleheads, really, guys. Tony is known as Mutteroy. I am known as NW99XJ or Northwest at 99XJ. We are just, your average everyday Jeep owner, guys, and we just happen to have some audio equipment and love for Jeeps and the willingness to sit in front of the microphone and blab endlessly about them. And, of course, this is all to support the #1 website on the web that is all Jeep all the time. That is xjtalk.com. You guys got to go check it out. And if you know a Jeep enthusiast in your life, or if you are one yourself, which I would hope you are listening to this show, well, then, of course, you already know about it. But if you know somebody, please tell them about xjtalk.com. It's the friendliest place you can go to talk about Jeeps, to get advice, technical tips, share pictures, you name it. A lot of fun over there. And, of course, it's not just for Cherokees either. Tony, we've got a couple other sites and, of course, lots of other forums where people can join in regardless of the Jeep that they have.
Yes, we do. It's funny, Josh, you're talking about a friendly site. I was talking to David, who is a Nissan owner and runs a few forums, Nissan-based forums. And he was talking about he bought a YJ. I think it was in addition to the Nissan that he had. And he goes, "Oh, this is great. I'll go and check out some of the Jeep sites." And he was just shocked at how bad it was on those forums. He said he wanted to sell the YJ because there was not an online forum. He named a specific forum. I'm not going to mention their name, Jeep Forum. But he went over to this place, and he says it was just, he couldn't believe how much flaming and just hatefulness that was going on between members and moderators and things. So he said he'd just gotten spoiled because the Nissan folks were just not that way. He never had a situation like that where he had to deal with folks that were that misbehaved, that ill-mannered. And I'm not here to bash the other Jeep sites. We're here to talk about xjtalk.com, where you can go and not be abused and get your questions answered. And hopefully that's something that if you find important. And if you don't, there's always, is this like those restaurants where the waiters and waitresses will come and abuse you for extra tips? You can do the same thing at several of the Jeep sites. Of course, Pirate comes to mind. I got a thick skin, Josh. I've never been brave enough to post on Pirate.
Oh yeah. No, it takes a certain kind of character to brave those waters, but not at xjtalk.com, guys. No such thing as a stupid question, even if it's just asking, hey, what's a spark plug?
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure that you're going to get a lot of answers. And I guarantee you none of them are going to be, here, let me Google that for you, or, hey, retard, what are you doing here? That type of stuff. Not going to happen.
Learn what a spark plug is and then come back whenever you know. I just never have understood. If the question insults you so much, why do you have to comment on it?
I just don't get it. I don't get it. I was actually reading an article just before the show about the heater core valve on our Cherokees, and reading an article on another Cherokee forum.
How dare you?
And and there was literally like a full page of just flaming because of this one post, and I could not believe it.
I mean, they are funny. I mean, you read those things and they are funny. I mean, even the mean-spirited ones, they are funny. But the poor bastard that asked the question, how does he or she feel?
Yeah, exactly. But guys, so if you got a new Jeep owner in your family, or you are one yourself, and in fact, we actually had somebody who was a 15-year Toyota four-wheeling veteran.
Oh yeah.
And figured he'd kind of join into the Jeep world. Had some friends that got some Jeeps, and he said he wanted to get he wanted to get a vehicle to
there
hang
you
out
go
with
again.
Boy. and he ended up picking up a Cherokee, and he's absolutely loved it ever since. And he's well into the process of modification. But just goes to show, guys, you could be a veteran wheeler in another kind of community and be new to the Jeep scene, and you're going to have questions. And they're going to be the kind of things that only people who have been around the block a few times doing this kind of stuff are going to be able to answer. And these are the kind of folks you're going to find at xjtalk.com.
Yep, we hope to see you over there, and you can come. And actually, you don't even have to post. Just go over there and read some of the posts from the last 5 years, and you'll see that it's a friendly site, and you should feel safe. You will not need to have your safe place in mind before you start posting on xjtalk.com. So, Josh, let's get to some voicemails. The first voicemails of 2015.
All right.
Hey, this is Tony.
And this is Josh from the XJ Talk Show. We want to thank you for calling our 24/7 voice line.
Yes, we do. Just leave your first name and your question or comment.
There's no guarantee, but we may play your message on the podcast.
Oh, and don't worry about keeping it clean. We'll take care of that.
Now it's your turn to speak at the beep.
Hey guys, this is Joe, and I'm commuting to work. It's 12 degrees this morning, and it's supposed to be cooling down all day. It's supposed to be 7 degrees tonight, but I'm driving a hybrid. I'm commuting and wishing I was in my XJ, and every time I drive to work in my city, I pass a nice red lifted Jeep, and it's beautiful, and I've never seen it move, and it almost makes me cry because I just can't believe nobody drives it. And someday I'm going to pull in and see if I can buy it. But I wanted to call and wish everyone a wonderful New Year, and all my thanks to everybody who helps me keep my XJ running. And I've left it home today for my wife and kids to play in as the snow blows and the cold weather rolls in. So I manned up, and I took the hybrid instead of the Jeep and let my family play. So I hope you guys and everyone else is having a great day today, and I will call back later. Thank you, and everybody take care. Bye.
Yeah, great first time voicemail. I think that's the first time we've had a voicemail from Joe. At least I don't remember those temperatures like that. But what a great guy, leaving the Jeep at home in that bad weather. So his family could play. I mean, I certainly would do the same thing for my family if they needed, to get around during the day. I don't know that I could leave it there for them to play though. So good on you, Joe.
Well, no, yeah, very, very brave and of course very noble as well, Joe. And I highly encourage you, stop and knock at the door. Just be friendly, and who knows, you might end up getting a really, really cool Jeep that you've been admiring for some time. It sounds like for who knows, maybe a great price. Let us know how that turns out. Just give us a call, leave us another voice. Or by all means, if you end up parking it in your driveway, post up some pictures.
Oh, yeah, we'd like to know about the future of that red Jeep. And I've said it before and I'll say it again. All Jeeps are red. Even if you see the outer color is green or blue or black, underneath, all Jeeps are red because red, it's awesome.
Ooh, red Jeeps are sexy.
Josh saw it coming.
I did. I knew it. Spidey senses were tingling.
And here's our first Nikki G voicemail of 2015.
Hey, this is Nikki G. I just listened to the Christmas episode where you guys did your You Bought and What, Amazon You Bought and What segment.
That one wasn't so bad.
Somebody bought a waterproof Bluetooth speaker, which that is a great idea. I'm going to have to order myself one. It'll come in handy when I'm in my sensory deprivation tank. I could get a pizza delivered there. All right, gentlemen, I will chat you later. You have a good one. Bye.
I don't know that he fully understands what a sensory deprivation tank actually is.
I think that's when the tinfoil hat fails, that's where he goes.
So, talking about the cold weather that Joe was talking about earlier, I saw a post. I was sitting there scrolling through Facebook. I saw a post. I think it was from Nick Aldridge. XJ Talk is on Facebook. Please feel free to come over there and like our page. Don't even get me started about losing the 3,000 something friends that we had, actual friends that we could communicate with and make smart-ass comments about their post on Facebook. We lost all that because we had to delete that page, but now or delete that account. Now we're on a XJ Talk page. But just look up XJ Talk and come like us. But anyway, Nick was talking about that yesterday, ahead of some cold weather that was coming through. He had checked his antifreeze, and the antifreeze little doodad specific gravity measurer thing said it was good to 6 degrees, and it was getting below 6 degrees.
Oh boy!
So he checked it this morning, and he found that there was some slush. In the there was some slush. I just being here in Southeast Texas, I cannot fathom anything being slushy that has that much antifreeze in it that it's good to 6 degrees and it got down to 0 wherever it was where he was at, and it got slushy. My response to him was, "Ooh, free slushy."
The dogs love it.
Yeah, they do. They actually do. Lick and lick. They like it better than peanut butter. But so I thought about that today whenever I just can't imagine being in that area. You guys, with the salt and the snow and it sounds like a great place to have a Jeep, but my God, I don't see how you people live.
Yeah, really. Well, we know how some of you guys live over on YouTube, and you guys are doing a great job by subscribing to our YouTube channel and, of course, clicking on those videos and viewing. Lots and lots of views, well over 207,000 views, guys. And we've got knock on the door of, I think right around 1,000 subscribers, give or take.
10,000.
There we go. So, guys,
a million.
Yeah, there it is. We pick out of those lists of subscribers 4 names in random order, no particular order, and we give them a little homage. Just give them a little shout out. And Tony, who's first on our list tonight?
Kokomo 44. You didn't think I was going to get that.
I got Ruben Carvajal.
Buzz.
Yeah, thought I had it too.
And Jason Garner.
Yeah, you're getting the easy ones. Okay, here we go. Warming up here.
Stretch.
Contra Bono S'mores 1.
Hey, that wasn't bad.
There was another Contra Bono S'mores already taken.
Very, very well done. Very nicely done. That's a long. Damn, that name is this long.
I could not type that in every day.
Oh, good Lord, no.
Cutting and pasting.
And the password's monkey. So who's going to figure that the username is this long, the password's this long? So we have an interesting little thing here to tell you, a little interview, little announcement with Dan of the 4x4 podcast. And I'm sure you guys know about the 4x4 podcast, but if not, here's your opportunity to learn a little more. Hey, guys, we got Dan from the 4x4 podcast with us tonight, and, we got something to tell you guys.
Hey, Tony, thanks for letting me come on the show here to tell you a little bit about the 4x4 podcast. The 4x4 podcast is all about everything off-roading. We cover topics as far-ranging from racing in the desert to rock racing to overlanding, and what more people do is probably just go camping in the woods and using their four-wheel drive as the mechanism to get them to the destination. We talk, I know one of the favorite shows from Nikki G over there is our Outdoor Edibles segment, where we always talk about some great things to eat when you're out there in the backcountry, so you don't have to rely on peanut butter and jelly sandwiches and granola bars if you're going out there. It's a lot of fun, but we do talk about a lot of different things. We are not model specific. I have been a fan of Toyota. I've had a Toyota FJ Cruiser before. I'm on my second Jeep Cherokee. I grew up driving a Dodge. I've got a Chevy. Well, I had a Chevy, and now I've got a GMC as well. So I'm a fan of everything that works well in the off-road segment. So it's a lot of great information, and I definitely think you should come check it out if you want to learn more about what's going on in the big scheme of things in the off-roading world.
Well, I think that clarifies your show very well with all that past experience that you've had with the various models, because that's kind of the way your show is. It's anything that has to do with 4x4 and probably then some. I especially like the cooking segments. You're always doing something there with the cooking, and I'm just going, oh God, I have to go raid the refrigerator afterwards. So
yeah, people have bought a lot of Dutch ovens after listening to the show.
I bet. So
not the kind with the covers in a bed.
So Dan and I have been talking, and we came up with this idea of doing a loosely formed 4x4 network, a one-stop shop where you can go and listen to Dan's show or the XJ Talk show, and maybe even some future 4x4 podcasts. And Dan has agreed to become part of the 4x4 network, and you'll be hearing promos on both his and and our show here at the XJ Talk show.
Yeah, and the XJ Talk show is all about the Jeep Cherokees, the non-2014 and newer Cherokees, that is.
Well, we talk about them. We don't talk good about them. We talk about them.
That's a good qualifier. But, hopefully we'll see some shows coming all about Nissan and Toyota and Land Rovers even, if you want to talk about leaky vehicles that need a lot of loving.
So look for the 4x4 podcast and the XJ Talk show together on the 4x4 Radio Network.
The 4x4 Radio Network.
It just
ran out of gas.
It just sounds like it's a good thing, Dan.
It does.
It sounds like a big deal. That's what we're going to be, is a big deal now.
BFD.
So obviously, Dan and I had a great time chatting. That was last night when we did that, and we wanted to get together so we could kind of do the announcement. We had teased something coming this winter, and we kind of felt that all three of us, actually, Josh and Dan and I, thought it was a good idea to go ahead and get this thing started off in 2015. What a better time for a change of year and to have a change in not our show, but to something to make things a little better, broaden the horizons a bit. And I think we can all learn from the other vehicles, whether it be off-road, on-road, Toyota, Nissan, any of those models, just like we can learn from or share knowledge between Cherokees and Wranglers.
Or even Volvos, for that matter.
Yeah, or
Fiats. I don't know what I'm talking about there. You're going to have to tune into a few episodes back. But nonetheless, Tony's right, guys. We all have a similar goal, a common interest, if you will. We love the outdoors. We love getting out and enjoying our vehicles in those outdoors as often as we can. And some of us do it a little bit more extreme than others, which is just fine. And some of us get into modifications a little more than others, and that's fine as well. And some people just like to camp out of their stock vehicles, and that is cool too.
It is.
And it's all this coming together of the different kinds of interest, but kind of under the same umbrella is the premise behind the 4x4 Radio Network. And hopefully here as we get going in 2015, we're going to have several stations or shows, if you will, on that network to bring you guys lots of different kinds of content all at one place.
Yeah, we're still developing the web page, but the idea will be you'll be able to go over to the 4x4radionetwork.com webpage and see the most recent episodes of all of the members of that network and listen to them all, or pick and choose what you want to listen to. Maybe even just use that as a way to peruse what we have available and subscribe to the podcast that you enjoy. And this is one of the promos that you'll be hearing on the podcasts that are part of the 4x4 Radio Network.
You're listening to a 4x4 Radio Network podcast.
So it's as close as we could get to This Is CNN as we could without, CNN suing us.
Exactly. I can hear the cease and desist letters being typed out right now.
Yes. James Earl Jones blocked me on Twitter. I tried to get him on to do the promo, but he blocked me. So there you go. So but guys, I tried.
Once again, nothing is going to happen with xjtalk.com or xjtalkshow.com. It's not going to change how Tony and I do the show or anything like that. It's just going to be adding some seasoning to an already pretty good stew, as it were. So we're just kind of putting a few more ingredients into the mix.
Allowing you to broaden your horizons. Make sure that you're aware of other shows, and the same thing for Dan's audience. They may find some value this little thing that Josh and I do. So it's just a way for us to make everybody aware of the great shows that are available. So don't talk to me until I get out of the Jeep.
I'm right here. I'm walking alongside of you. All anxious.
I couldn't understand what you were saying. But the window was up. All I heard was. Okay, I'm out of the Jeep. Go ahead.
I love this part of the show, guys. We sit around the campfire. We BS a little bit. We chew the rag. We just kind of chit-chat a little bit about our own Jeeps and what's happening in our specific Jeep worlds. And myself, I showed you guys several episodes back how I have made a custom homemade sunroof control module, because my 99 XJ has a sunroof in it. And this is obviously a dealership installed option. Our Cherokees did not come with a factory sunroof. And over the course of its life, and here in the last year or so, the control module has kind of been acting up on the fritz and has eventually stopped working, and actually ended up not stranding me, but I left my sunroof open and I couldn't close it. Thankfully, it didn't rain that day, and I was able to get home and get the Jeep in the garage and get basically hot wire it closed. Well, I don't want to have to do that every time I want to enjoy the open roof experience in my Cherokee. So I decided to use my low voltage experience and knowledge base and wired up a big relay pack of to simulate what that control module does. Now it's got fancy onboard surface mounted circuitry and relays and stuff like that, and inside this nice little fancy box. Mine's not that pretty. In fact, it's pretty ugly, but it's going to work, and it's going to work indefinitely. And that's what I wanted to do. Well, I started working on the process, getting some new power wires ran from the fuse box, auxiliary fuse box in the passenger side kick panel. And they already had some feed wires. I didn't really like the install. I didn't like how they were tapped in, so I'm rewiring that as well. And of course, I need to find myself a good ground source up there. Plenty of metal up by the B-pillar and up in the framework of the actual sunroof mechanism itself. So no shortage of ground choices there, but it's going to be fairly plug and play. I got to pull out some of the old stuff, wire in this new stuff, and of course the test run hopefully will go smoothly without any magic smoke, as it were. So good stuff there. And of course, since the Jeep is in the garage, and I really don't have any big wheeling trips coming up in the near future, so if the sunroof gets stuck open for a few days, not a big deal. My Jeep's not a daily driver anymore, so I can afford to, have some downtime with it, as it were. And yes, it still has not been washed from that last muddy trip I had up in December. So,
well, I think people would tell you it's never supposed to be washed, Josh.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I got some good pictures of it though, so lots of fun. But one of the things I was looking at while the Jeep's in the garage, I walk out in the garage and it's just bam right there in front of me. And is those big 455 watt lights that I have up on the front of there. And 9 years ago, whenever it was that I got my Jeep, those things actually fit and they look pretty good. And I kind of got the idea from a similar concept that I'd seen a Jeep that was around where my work was at the time. And I liked how he had done it. So I kind of copied it a little bit and put my own spin on it. And it's worked very good for the last 7-8 years or so. But, I've got something new that's going to be going up, and it's a big 52-inch light bar, LED light bar. And I can't wait to get that thing up there. So it's got me thinking about some roof rack upgrades. Those old lights are definitely coming off. They may get repurposed. I don't know. We'll see. But in any case, there's going to have to be a new mount, some sort of a mounting system that incorporates the roof rack somehow for the new light. I'm not sure how I'm going to do that yet. Might be some fabrication involved, welding up some new brackets or something like that. I do want to do a little bit of refreshing of that roof rack anyways. The front wind dam, I want to go ahead and do a fresh coat of paint on that, get that spruced up a little bit. And there's a couple small rusty spots on it. I want to go ahead and basically sand that stuff down, get it down to bare metal, even some JB weld or something. I may try and weld it up myself. We'll see how that goes. And then throw a fresh coat of bedliner all over the thing. And I wouldn't mind actually getting a little extension for it, too. It's kind of a short basket. It's behind the sunroof, so it's kind of in the middle of the Jeep. And I've got a little bit of room, and they make a short extension for that. I might do that as well. But I think ultimately I'm going to ditch the factory rails and go with something like JCR's gutter mount system and try and incorporate that into my Yakima roof rack that I've got. So we'll see how that turns out. That's all coming up here in the very near future.
Have you thought about maybe bolting it straight to the roof? Using some rubber gaskets and things, and actually give it take the factory rails off completely and seal all that stuff up and go straight to the roof. I think that would have a really cool factory look to it, but not the cheap factory.
Yeah, right. No, actually, a buddy of mine lives right down the way. He's building what he's calling an ultra low profile roof rack, which is only going to sit off of he's ditching the factory rails, and there's the nutserts that are underneath those. He's reusing those, in fact.
Yeah, you can do that.
And he's going to screw basically right into the roof. And he's had some issues with some sealing and stuff like that. He's still kind of playing around with it. Not finished yet. It's kind of a work in progress, but ultimately he's going to have a fully functioning, very capable roof rack that's going to be. I mean, you're not going to want to get up there and jump around on it or anything, but it's going to be able to support a spare tire or a few pieces of firewood or his camping gear, et cetera, et cetera. So, but yeah, very cool idea. Now I don't have profile is not a big concern. I'm not worried about how high it sticks up or anything like that. Obviously, I don't want to go too much higher. I still got to pull the thing into the garage.
Right.
And I've only got about 2 or 3 inches of clearance right now. Yeah, that's plenty as far as it goes. Is pulling it in and out of the garage. So as long as what I'm planning on doing doesn't raise it up 6 inches, then I should be okay.
I kind of like the idea of doing things to the vehicle where you go when somebody looks at it and goes, that looks really good, but something doesn't look right about it. It's not what I've seen before. It's a little it's like that looks like it's factory, but I haven't seen anybody do one like that. Do a little different, right. And I say anybody hasn't done it before. The Toyotas. What's the Toyota Wrangler equivalent that's out?
The FJ Cruiser. Is that what you're talking about?
You know how they do theirs, where it's a fairly substantial roof rack and it's mounted straight to the roof, and but it looks more like a tubed. Yeah, it's like a tubed, more of an off-road thing where we have kind of a plasticky. Not so off-roadish looking thing bolted to the top of our stuff.
Yeah, the Nissan Xteras actually did the same thing. I think
that's
they took a cue from those.
Yeah, that's true. So I'm just gonna brag, Josh.
Yeah.
On the way home tonight, I'll brag twice. I made it home tonight by driving my Jeep Cherokee. I've gone back and forth to work now 3 whole days and made it all the way. I'm just elated. But
without having to call AAA even once, I'm guessing.
Exactly. So I needed to get gas on the way home tonight, and I pulled over into a Sam's Club and filled up with a $1.72.9 per gallon.
I hate you.
So I put a little over 18 gallons in my tank for $31.
Oh my goodness! I don't think I've ever filled the tank in the Cherokee for that little since I've owned it. Gas prices have never been that low in my neighborhood since I've owned my Jeep. So yeah, I'm super jealous.
You have to wonder if more people are riding around or going off road now that prices have started dropping on the fuel cost. And believe me, guys, I'm not even going to believe that they're going to stay this low. They may go lower. But it's like losing weight. You do a good job, you lose 100 pounds, you gain back 200. I think that's what we're going to see.
Casino. I think going to the casino. The house always wins.
I think that's what we're going to see with fuel prices. So just enjoy it. I've been making the joke, and nobody's biting on Twitter, but I've been making the joke that I'm digging a 1,000-gallon pit in the backyard, and how much stable do I need to pour into the gas to keep it good for the foreseeable future. Yeah. And nobody comments. They just go, it's that guy. Block that guy. Mute him. So the other thing I want to brag about, when I got home, there was MRE, meal ready to eat. It was chilly because it is very, very cold down here, Josh.
Well, I was going to ask if it was S on a shingle, but I guess that's pretty close. No.
Oh, no, that comes later. So do a little
on the roof.
Do a little bragging here. Here's my bowl of chili, and that has a nice bed of corn chips, and that is homemade chili that my wife makes about 5 gallons of this stuff in this huge aluminum container, and she was apologizing for it. And if you look carefully, you'll see that bowl has my name on it, and it's a big bowl. And yes, damn it, I'm proud of that. I'm proud of that bowl. It's actually one of those Tony the Tiger things, so you could get a bowl that had Tony the Tiger on it, and it says Tony. So my mother-in-law got that for me, and when I'm ready to eat a bunch of cereal, or in this case a bunch of chili, I break out the Tony bowl.
That's great. That's great.
It was very good. In fact, I had to have I waited a little while, but I had another helping minus the cheese. It wasn't nearly that much, but it was very good. Hats off to my wife for making that without me having to beg.
Yeah, really. So real quick, I want to go back, and you made a comment about, you made it home. Last 3 days, you've been able to make it home under the Jeep's own power. What happened here recently that would question your Jeep being able to make it home?
Well, I'll roll it back a little bit further. You guys, I'm sure remember. If not, go back in several episodes, and you can hear me whining, bitching, and moaning about a valve dropping, the top of the valve that seats into the head, actually coming off and bouncing around inside the cylinder and breaking apart the piston, and then the bear rod then gouging a hole into the block. So I've had some.
Oh, sounds like a party.
Yes, disco. So I've had some problems with the Jeep, and we got those fixed. Got a refresh of the original engine that was in it, back in it, running good until New Year's Eve. New Year's Eve morning, I was on my way to work. I was probably 3 miles from getting there, and came to a stoplight, and the engine died.
Oh.
I thought, man, this thing's running quiet.
Yeah, right.
So then I looked at I've got a podcast playing when, I got a lot of noise in that Jeep. So sitting at a light, it relatively speaking to the mud tires droning on down the road, it is pretty quiet. And so I looked down, and of course I looked at the speedometer, I don't know why, and I'm at 0. Well, duh, you're stopped. Then I look at the RPM, and I go, oh, that's the one I want to look at. And it was also 0.
Uh-oh.
So I'm going, oh, God. And the thing about it was, I was listening to the 4x4 podcast. I'm a little behind on listening to those.
Oh, so it's Dan's fault.
And they were talking about the problems that I'd had with my engine.
No way.
They jinxed me. I mean, not 15, 20 minutes prior to this thing dying on me, they're talking about all the problems that Tony had. They didn't go on for a long time about it, but they mentioned it. So I'm thinking to myself, good God, Dan, why the hell did you do this to me? So yeah, right. I try to start it, and the absolutely nothing happens.
Oh, man.
Not a click.
You're in the middle of the street at this point, right?
Not a click, not a nothing. And I'm thinking, what is going on? What is going on with this? And then I got out and was looking at stuff, and there was smoke coming off the engine. And I'm smelling it. Is this steam? Is this oil? And it was oil. It was oil that was coming, like a burnt oil, and I'm like, where's this coming from? I mean, it wasn't so thick like a old-time mosquito spray or anything like that, but there was a lot of oil burning that came off of there. So I couldn't figure it out. I had a couple people stop, ask me if I needed help. I knew that I could just call AAA because I had one remaining call that I could make in 2014 on December 31st of 2014. So I knew I was good there. And I thanked them and said, no, it's fine. So back and forth a couple of times, looking around, couldn't figure it out, and I couldn't figure out why it wouldn't start. Then I realized it was in drive. That's why it wouldn't start.
Oh, jeez.
I have the right to panic with the crap that I've been through over the past 2 or 3 months.
Yeah.
So
I'll give you that.
So I popped it into neutral and tried turning it over, and it started right up. Not a problem. But the engine was hot. It was like it had overheated. And that's what because the oil, the little bit of oil that you get just from the normal operation, whenever you overheat an engine, it will start smoking on you because it's burning off that little bit of oil that it has there. So that's what had happened. So I go, I don't know. I must have popped a hose. And the temp gauge was saying, the 210. It didn't go high. But, you guys got to be careful. When you lose water in a 4.0, you probably are not going to see a temperature change on the gauge. I've run across this before where the engine overheated and it said it was right there below the 210, like where they're supposed to be. So, and that was the case on mine. Anyway, so I drove it off, and there was a parking lot, a little strip center, and I pulled over into the strip center and parked. And I noticed when I got out to look, there was a long trail of liquid where I had just driven. So for the next 15 minutes or so, it was a coolant. So I felt around on the bottom of the hose to see if maybe I had popped the bottom hose or something had happened to it. And I actually had a screwdriver with me that was long and was the right kind to take off that bottom hose, even though it took me a while to do it. 20 minutes getting that hose off and trying to stay relatively clean in the process. And got it off. Looked at it, I saw that the hose clamp was near the end of the hose, because you can see the impression of the hose clamp. Yeah. I sent Matt M. Smornberg a picture and said, "Hey Matt, do you think this would be a cause to lose coolant?" He said, "Yep." So I repositioned the hose clamp, put the hose back on, went over to the coffee place that I was real close to. They were very kind to give me some water. And I got back over there and I started pouring the water in the radiator, hopeful that I could make the final 3 miles to work and just get cleaned up there and work the day and be off for the next 4 days.
Yeah.
And as soon as I start pouring the water in, it's pouring out.
Oh, jeez.
I mean, it was like I was pouring it on the ground. It was coming out so fast. So the interesting part was where it was coming out. Not anywhere around the hoses, not anywhere around the radiator, but back towards the transmission.
Oh boy!
So I stopped and I kind of got down and I could see where it was kind of still running out, and I was like, "Please don't be a hole in the block. Please don't be a hole in the block."
Right.
And you know what it was? It was a hole in the block.
Oh!
Because the freeze plug was missing.
Oh, okay, that's a hole that's supposed to be there.
Well, there's supposed to be a cover, damn it.
Yes, there is.
So at that point, I knew I was screwed. There's no I don't have a pocket full of freeze plugs on me, so or a hammer, or even a way to really get to that. So I cleaned up best I could, sat there in the Jeep, called AAA, and waited for them to come get me and take me home, which they did. And I still don't understand why that freeze plug came out. Over the weekend, over that long 4-day weekend that I had, I did replace the 4. I have a block heater in mine, so the block heater is pretty substantial. I left that one alone and replaced the 4 steel plugs on the side of the block with brass plugs, Dorman brass plugs, and I am so concerned about why that would have popped out. It didn't make any sense to me. I have another set of freeze plugs.
Just in case.
Just in case. And these are Melling freeze plugs. So, and they're also brass, as you can see, as I'm holding these things up to the camera. So I'm ready to go in case there's more problems with freeze plugs. I just thinking about it, because I'm very much a kind of person that I want to know why this happened, so I can actually fix it so it doesn't happen again. The only thing I could come up with was the radiator cap was bad. So I put a new radiator cap on there, and hopefully that will take care of the situation. I don't know. I still don't know why it happened, but it's been running fine for the last 3 days. I've just been monitoring the temperature using my Torque app and the OBD2 scanner that I have.
Cool. Well, hopefully that is solved. Well, obviously it's solved at least the problem initially, and hopefully there's nothing else underlying that rears its ugly head.
Or something new.
yeah, exactly.
Something totally unexpected.
Well, I got something new, kind of. It's not really me. It's a buddy of mine. He's on his third Cherokee that he's owned, and he just picked it up here a couple weeks ago. Got it for a pretty good steal. I'm just going to show our live audience a couple of pictures here real quick. It's a white 99 that he picked up. It's already got some bushwhacker flares on it, tinted windows. It's an automatic transmission, and he's got an Iron Rock off-road long arm kit already installed on it, and he just sent me a picture to kind of just say, kind of finger his nose a little bit at me, make me jealous, because he ordered he got a package in the mail today from a little company called JCR Off-Road, and he actually had a couple of other boxes show up at the same time. He's got a nice big workbench full of parts right now. I'm showing a picture to our live audience. Some JCR 1-ton over-the-knuckle steering, some chromoly axle shafts for inner and outer for the Dana 30, a brand spanking new Durango steering box, JCR's front uniframe tie-in stiffener kit, JCR's steering box spacer kit as well, and, of course, some new D-ring shackles to go on the bumpers that he's also got coming from JCR, which I found out here tonight as well. So a big order from JCR for my buddy Mike and his new 99 XJ. He's naming it Billy Bob the Third.
So, I'm sorry, did you say that was a white XJ that he has?
Yeah, apparently it's red underneath. I don't know.
Oh, no. I had made the comment about color coordinating the D-rings with the with the Cherokee, and I guess if it's white, the best thing to do is to paint them black.
Yep. Yeah, that's what I'm going to recommend that he does. But yeah, I figured I'd share that with you guys. Another, he's a veteran Cherokee owner, and I've helped him out with a couple of his rigs already. He's got a YJ for the wife. They've got a Subaru for a daily driver. Now they each kind of have a toy, and yeah, he's one more Jeep away from being a 3 Jeep family like you, Tony.
being a Jensen. I made a post the other day about Jensen. Jensen has 11 or 12 Jeeps. I can't remember from the last count. I made
probably 15. I don't know.
Yeah, I've made the comment. He's like an old lady with cats, except this is Jeeps and Comanches and stuff that he has. So it's always fun to make fun of people, especially whenever you're jealous because they have so many damn Jeeps. I don't know where he keeps them all, frankly.
Yeah, right. Well, we're not going to have these people be making fun of us anytime soon. They're actually giving us some praise and some props and kudos. Guys, we have some reviews to share with you, and some of these are actually really, really cool. We've asked you guys to head over to iTunes or TuneIn Radio or Stitcher Radio. Leave us a 5-star rating, and, of course, the comments as well. We love the feedback, guys. And so we've gotten a few here to share with you, and I do those right now.
So we'll start with Matthew Revo Guy Hoffman. This is back from in November, right around Thanksgiving time. He gave us a 5-star review, of course, and he says, "Can't believe I missed the show for so long. Heard about it on the 4x4 podcast, and now listen every week. Lots of info, but more importantly, lots of fun." Well, I guess that's good. It's not just for XJs. It's also inclusive, so don't let the title scare you off. Makes time fly by. Hosts do a great job, and sounds like they have guns. Sounds like they have. Sounds like they like guns and the Ace Man. Glad I found it.
Very good. He gave us a 5-star rating, and couldn't appreciate that anymore. Got another one here from Bring Me ATVs. Says, I love the show. Give us a 5-star rating. Says, you guys are great. Love the show. You guys should do a segment on your first wheeling adventure. And that's actually something that Tony and I have talked about here. We'll probably do it here in the next coming few episodes. Something we'll have planned for at least this year, nothing else. But I'm going to talk about my very, very first wheeling trip ever, as in the very first time I went off-road, and that'll be a fun story for you guys. So, thanks for the comment, and, of course, thanks for the idea for a segment. We love that kind of stuff, guys. So, hey, if you got an idea for the show, hey, great way to do it. Leave us a 5-star review and drop us a comment.
So, quick question, Josh. Did you was the first time you went off-road, was it in your own vehicle, or did you go with somebody else?
I'm not going to spoil it. You guys are going to have to listen to the show.
Well, I'll tell you, I had never gone off-road until I bought a vehicle and took it off-road. I didn't have any idea what I was doing other than driving like I was on the road, but I wasn't. And I never got stuck. I guess if you design them right and don't go to the places where you shouldn't go, you'll be okay.
That's good advice.
So anyway, we got one more review here. The main comment is amazing. I couldn't agree more. This is by Enzo Loco, and this is back on December 18th. 5-star rating. I love this podcast. It's so entertaining, well produced, and I feel I'm at home with my family, if you will. I really hope this grows and expands into something big. No, I'm not going to say that. Thanks, Tony and Josh, for an awesome creation. And I would give it 10 stars if I could.
The very first time I read that review, I actually got a little misty-eyed. We do put a lot of effort and soul into this into the show, even if it doesn't show. And and getting the feedback like that is a very personal, inclusion. When somebody says that they basically consider you like an extended family, that means a lot to me personally. And thank you very much for those kind words. And people, if you haven't headed over to iTunes yet and left us a review and commented on the show, please do so. We very much need this to boost our egos, and we don't sleep well at night if we don't hear from you guys. So make that happen, please.
That's absolutely right. And speaking of boosting egos, we're going to boost our ego a little more here because Tammy, her as Jeep Mama on her blog, was good enough to say, to actually be on our show as an interviewee and listen to our show, and then still want to be part of it. Which, that's got to be something. That's got to be worth something there. So, without further ado, let's get the third installment of Tammy's Jeep Mama. Yeah, how she became a Jeep Mama. And it's not that kind of show, guys. It'll all be cool.
Hey, thanks, Tony and Josh. Before I get started on part 3 of the evolution of a Jeep Mama, I just want to let you guys know that I'm going to try to wing this one instead of typing it all out like I have in the past. You see, I've been a stay-at-home mom for 15 years, and that 15 years I've been out of the workforce. And my extent of talking to adults has been pretty limited. It's basically the grocery store clerk or the postman, maybe a few adult parties once in a while. But anyway, talking to adults is kind of new to me again, so I'm starting over. And if you've read my blog, you would have read that I used to be in television news, and before that I went to a radio, television, broadcasting school. So, this is familiar to me, but it's been a while, and I'm trying to get back into it. So anyway, here goes. I'm going to wing it. Last week, I told you about the points in my timeline that it changed the path I was on. And one of those points in time was when I was at a party and my across-the-street neighbor friend told me that I should start blogging. So that kind of changed my path into the blogging. And the blogging got me onto a new path where I started getting into social media, and it introduced me into this whole new world of Jeepers. I came across some videos of a Jeeper who goes off-roading on the Rubicon Trail. So that point in time got me addicted to off-roading, which brings me to my story for this week. It's my off-roading adventures. After watching these videos, I'm like, man, I really want to do that. So I started looking for places to go off-roading here in Maryland. And unfortunately, there are no legal places to go off-roading. So the closest place I found was in Pennsylvania. It's called Roush Creek Off-Road Park. And so as I'm going over their website, I found that they have off-road training classes for beginners. So I'm like, yes. So I signed up for their 101 class. And the morning of my class, I got up bright and early. It was a Sunday morning, and I drove the 3 hours. I was so excited to try out my Jeep on the trails, to see what my Jeep could do, to even see what off-roading was. So as I pulled into that parking lot, it was a gravel parking lot, I freaked out. There were big, huge trucks, lifted Jeeps, rock crawlers on trailers. It was like a parking lot of testosterone. And I came, wheeling in my little stock Jeep. I felt so tiny. So, I'm in my 2013 Jeep Wrangler Unlimited Sahara Edition, and I pulled into this parking lot, and I almost put it in reverse and turned around because I was so scared. But I told myself, nope, you're going to get out, hold your head up high, and walk straight into that office and start your class. So that's what I did. I got out, and I went up to the front counter, and there was Kyle. He was my instructor, and he made me feel at ease, which, by the way, he's an awesome instructor. He's very knowledgeable, and he's not going to take chances with my stock Jeep. He knows what it can do and what it can't do. So we headed out, and he took me on this incline, and I'm like, oh, my God. I thought we were going to tip over. So he tells me to stop on this incline, and he gets out, and he's standing on my side steps, and he's trying to pull me over. And the point of it was that it's not going to tip over. It may feel like it on the inside, but it's really not. Then he took me on washouts, up and down hills, through mud. He even took me through a pond, which scared the bejesus out of me because, this is my daily driver. I didn't want the engine ruined. But, it always looks worse in the driver's seat than it really is. Even when you're standing outside watching it, it doesn't look as bad as when you're in the Jeep. Even when you look at the pictures, you're like, that's nothing. But when you're in that driver's seat, it is so scary. As he took me through these washouts and over some, small rocky paths, I kept hearing these clangs and bangs, and it was, kind of freaking me out a little. But Kyle kept saying, you're okay, you're okay. And then there was a point where we were going over some rocks, and you could just hear the scraping. And I'm like, oh, my God, I'm tearing up the bottom of my Jeep. And, Kyle kept saying, no, you're okay, you're okay. And now I like hearing those clangs and those bangs and those scrapes. It's, you really feel like you're off-roading when you hear those. So then the next thing after, I kind of got a feel for it, he brought me to the top of this hill, and he's like, okay, you're going to push your hill control descent button, which I always wondered what that was for. And he said, once you push it, do not put your foot on the gas or the brake. The Jeep will do the driving by itself. And it was a very unnatural thing to do, to let the Jeep drive by itself, to go down the hill and just to leave your feet setting on the floorboard. But that's what I did, and I was absolutely amazed. I actually felt like I was driving Kit, Kit from Knight Rider. But anyway, the Jeep did everything all the way down the hill. So I did a blog on this, and one of the comments was that that's cheating. And in essence, I guess it kind of is cheating. I guess it depends on how you look at it. But I look at it as I'm in a very inexperienced off-roader. I'm in this vehicle that I'm not quite sure on how to drive it yet, over rocks, down hills. And it's a button to keep me safe. It's a button to keep my Jeep safe. So I'm going to continue to use it until I gain more experience off-roading, because the vehicle I'm in is a very expensive vehicle, and I don't think it's a toy that should be messed around with. So, cheating or not, I'm going to push the button. Some other things that Kyle taught me about was the little plus and minus sign down there by the shifter, which I had no idea what it was for. And actually, it's been on other vehicles that I've had. I just kind of ignored it. It's just like, I don't need to worry about that. I just need to go to the grocery store. So I put it in drive to the grocery store, park, So anyway, as we're driving, Kyle explains to me that it's like a manual transmission. And I'm like, oh, I know what that is, because that's how I first learned how to drive. I learned with the whole clutch shift, it was a 4-speed actually. So anyway, I had the idea in my head. I knew what, the manual transmission was all about. So he was a little relieved that he didn't have to explain it all to me. So once I started using it, it just all came back naturally. And it was pretty cool to be able to do shift on the fly without even putting the clutch in, so to speak. So it was pretty awesome to be able to have this feature, which I had no idea that it even existed. And I'm sure for most of you out there, you're going like, duh. But it was pretty exciting for me. So after this class, I was hooked. I wanted to stay and keep going on the trails. I didn't want it to end. So when I got back home, I got on the internet again and I started researching other places. And a friend of mine told me about Nemacolin Resort and Spa. It's in Pennsylvania, on the western side of Pennsylvania, and they have a Jeep driving academy where you can rent their Rubicons, and they'll take you out on their trails for about an hour. So I called up there and I asked, can I take my Jeep on the trails? And they're like, sure, come on up. Now their trails are muddier, they're not rocky, so it's more mud trails through the woods. But I was having a blast. They invited me back, and they said, when you come back next time, you should rent one of the Rubicons. I'm like, oh, okay. So that's what I did. A couple weeks later, I went back up there, and I rented their Rubicon. And that was, little did I know at the time, again, that was another point in time that put me on a different path. And driving in the Rubicon versus the Sahara was amazing. I can't even begin to explain the difference. So after driving the Rubicon at the Nemacolin Resort and Spa, that put me on a different path, the path to Jeep modifications, which I'll get into on the next show, Chapter 4 of Evolution of a Jeep Mama, how I've gone from minivan mom to Jeep mom blogger to off-road addict, and now this next part is on my Jeep modifications and the struggles I've gone through. And don't forget to check out my blog at www.jeepmomma.com. I'm also on Twitter as @MamaJeep, MOMMA Jeep. I'm also on Instagram, Jeep_Mama. I'm on Facebook as Jeep Mama. And I'm on Google Plus as Tammy/Jeep Mama. I also have some YouTube videos. I just posted a new one on the install of my shifter knob from the transfer case shifter knob. So I look forward to talking with you guys next week, and I'll see you in the chat room.
Hey, thanks a lot, Tammy. Yeah, I was watching that video, and it was really funny watching her to try to get that shifter knob off, because it did not want to come off. It was the transfer case shifter. And it was really cool. The shifter that she got for Christmas was, and I don't, you guys need to go look at the video just so you can see, but I don't want to ruin it for you. But it has tire tread around it, so it's
cool.
Yeah, it's got a rubbery feel, but it's a nice big knob to grab a hold of, and has that tire tread. So it was really neat.
Yeah, that's cool. Well, big thanks out there to Tammy, Jeep Mama, for another evolution of Jeep Mama. Love those stories, and hope we hear more from her as we roll into 2015. We hope to hear from you guys more as we roll into 2015. Remember, anybody can do an interview, get on the show, tell a story. Guys, we have a third seat open, and it could be for you. Just like we had one open for Jeep Mama to come on the show and tell her stories and stuff, you guys can do the same thing. You got an interesting wheeling adventure you just happened, maybe a carnage report, something like that, let's hear about it, guys. All kinds of ways to get a hold of us. Our 24/7 voicemail line, 530-675-4102. Give that number a call, leave us a message, and, we just might get back to you if you want to get on the show.
Hey, and if you're missing our Jeep Tip segment, they'll be coming back very soon, probably as soon as next week. It just really depends on how the shows lay out time-wise, but we do have more of those coming. Steve sent Steve 4.3 LXJ, who's in the audience tonight, sent us some more of those last week, Josh, so we have some new ones coming up.
Very cool. I've got a couple ideas myself. I just might record a Jeep tips for you guys as well. And we're going to resurrect electrical and audio tips in 2015 as well. Get you guys some of that good voltage advice as well.
Well, there's a lot of stuff that you talked about over a year ago having to do with electrical and audio tips that we shouldn't just assume that people have listened to. There's absolutely nothing wrong with rejuvenating some of those tips and doing them again, and perhaps something new that you've learned will be added to it.
Absolutely. And, of course, I want to make sure you guys are heading over to all the places where we're on the web. Of course, our Facebook page. Make sure you guys are liking that. We're on the Twitter as well. Hashtag XJTalkShow when you're posting up. And, of course, that Facebook page, like I said, facebook.com/xjtalk.page. iTunes, TuneIn, Stitcher Radio, YouTube, and, of course, xjtalk.com and xjtalkshow.com. Guys, come and check us out, and make sure you are telling a friend.
Oh, and some more Radio Tech segments. John, get busy. Here's your warning. You'll be listening to this Monday morning. John, we need some more Radio Tech segments.
Yeah. And, of course, guys, we're going to be plugging and telling you guys the latest as far as what's happening with the 4x4 Radio Network. Big stuff happening there. So we're very excited to be bringing that to you as well.
I don't want to talk out of turn, but we already have a couple of more podcasts that are interested in being part of the network. So I think we're stumbling on some big things coming up, guys. So please be a part of it. You guys have a great Jeep week.
We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
So the guy's coming along pretty nicely with the 4x4 Radio Network logo. Was happy to see. I had threatened to cancel it on him because I was asking for changes, and he would give me the same thing back. Say, "How's this?" And with no changes. so I'm like,
awesome.
Yeah. Well, you can't necessarily expect a lot whenever you're paying $5 for something, and I actually contacted the guy and spoke with him about what I had in mind and what I wanted to do, and he said, "Yeah, I can do that for $30." So even though $30 is still very cheap, that's what he said he would do it for. So I purchased the logo with unlimited modifications for $30, and I've been giving him hell. I want it exactly the way I want it, and he should not agree to doing it unless he's willing to put forth the effort. So.
How business goes.
Yeah. Well, but when I'm paying $5 for something, I'm not overly critical.
No, but it's advertising, unlimited modifications, and you're in the second or third iteration of this. I mean, it's not that big of a deal, and as long as he's doing what he's supposed to be doing, then everything should flow pretty good. But some people just don't.
I provided him a logo that I had made. I just didn't have the time to do all the stuff I wanted to do to it. And so I gave him a working copy of what I wanted, what already I had in my head that I had put, into an image. And then I even gave him a picture of a mud tire, an actual picture of a mud tire, so he would be able to see, the lugs that were on it, so that he could put it on the drawing.
Like this.
Yeah. And and then he comes back with this thing that was very cheesy looking, and I said, "Did you look at the picture I gave you? Did you?"
No.
The tire, the picture of the tire, and the iteration that I showed you earlier today. I don't know where he came up with those white lines. How many off-road tires do you know that have white sidewalls?
Yeah, I haven't seen too many white walls in a long time. So yeah.
I mean, I was okay with the inner ring because that kind of looks like if it was wider, and if he does it in the layers that I asked, I can actually make that white ring look like a bead lock.
Oh yeah, that would work.
Yeah, but the outer white ring, no, I don't. What is that? That I've never even seen that on a tire.
Well, maybe he's in a different part of the world.
He is. I can tell by the English, and I've been trying to, make sure that I don't start a jihad or anything by by criticizing, but I do want it to look a certain way. And if I hadn't already provided a lot of information, visual information, not English words, which may be a challenge for people that don't speak English, but an actual visual of what I want. Come on. Anyway, so we should be we should be seeing a little logo pretty soon.
Very cool, very cool. Well, I can't wait for I guess the big launch, as it were, and all the steps it's going to be. It's going to be fun getting to that point.
Yeah, it will be. It's amazing that we've heard from several people about wanting to be part of the network. I mean, it's a great opportunity for a fledgling podcast to get potentially a lot more listeners, especially with Dan's audience and our audience. So I don't think this is something we could have started out with. I think that we had to put the time and effort into it to build an audience before we could start something like a network. So I think the time's probably right. We've been doing this thing for 4 years now.
Yeah, I was going to say it comes down to timing, and I think that both our podcast and Dan's show as well is in its development well enough to where something like this can be a successful venture, and just as far as everybody's concerned. This is I'm using the term business model loosely here, but it's a business model that has succeeded in various categories on the web. Many times. We've got these podcasting networks that are popping up, and some of them have a little bit more, let's say, corporate power behind them than we do. But we're also kind of a niche market. I don't think anybody else is really got anything like this, and they certainly don't have the power to create something like this with the kind of grassroots like we have, and you just don't get that feel with the corporate power, funding power. Right. That some of these other podcast networks have. You
can look at the Power Nation or the Power Block thing that has been on for a number of years. Very good shows, and they have kind of a network with their four shows, and they.
So I mean that's a little bit different.
Well, that's where I was going with this, is that they're kind of doing this, and they have a limited amount of time and resources they can put into it because it's television and because they have to get paid big bucks from advertisers and the corporate sponsors, the people that own the show. So they can only do a limited amount of things. So I think where the beauty of this comes in, since we're not producing another show, we're just bringing in a podcast that somebody else is producing and putting it under the banner of the 4x4 Radio Network. We can offer really small, very niche things for people that they find interesting, whereas a television crew or a network doesn't have the time for that. They have to say, no, that's not popular enough. That's not going to be a big enough audience. We're not going to be able to sell advertising for that. And I think just by the nature of us being able to put so many things available to so many people that will get a large audience, it will probably talk some people into some of those shows that we're going to have that wouldn't normally that a big network would normally try to go after. So I think we'll get big just simply because we'll have more stuff that we can provide. Little stuff.
Well, it's a broadening of the horizons, like you said. So it's somebody that's doesn't know about the XJ Talk Show. They might be a Jeep enthusiast. Maybe their first vehicle was a Jeep Cherokee, and they've been a longtime listener of Dan's show, and they give us a shot and say, oh, I used to own a Cherokee. I know a little bit about those things, and listen to us, and I like that, and boom, we got a new listener, and who knows how many times that can happen over. So it's I'm not going to say mudding the waters at all, but it's definitely a blending and a coming together, and all kind of coming under one roof. And we all get to sort of just share with each other a little bit.
Mm-hmm. So I think that real quick, before I forget about this, I was scrolling back down. I was going to mention in the chit chat section, everybody that we have here tonight. Of course, Tammy Jeep Mama is out there, and has been commenting. I see Josh is there. Let's see. There's a Tony. There's Kevin from Dirty Jeep Girls. I don't know if you've gone over to the Indigo page to see how they're doing, but I think I checked them 2 or 3 days ago, and they were up to almost $700 now in their calendar thing. And
Very good. Yeah, I haven't been over there since before the break, so I haven't seen the tally yet. But that's good news.
Yep. And in case you guys don't remember, Kevin is basically doing a calendar. Trying to get funding for a calendar that shows dirty Jeeps, I'll say dirty Jeeps, and girls, pretty girls, not dirty girls and Jeeps. But the Jeeps are dirty, and how does it go? The Jeeps are dirty, the girls are hot, and it's going to be on the calendar whether you like it or not.
Love it. Big bold letters across the top.
So thanks for coming to the show again, Kevin. I hope you're enjoying it. And let's see. Oh, yeah, Steve, 4.3 LXJ. I know I saw him comment earlier. And let's see, there's a Rad that's there. And
I thought I saw Steve in there earlier as well, 4.3 LXJ.
Yeah, I just mentioned him.
Oh, okay.
And, yeah, I think that's all the... nope, I'm already scrolled back to Christmas. I was going to say, and there's Jake, but that was back at Christmas time. So I don't know if you caught it on Twitter or not, but the Paps boys have a logo that they shared with us today, and it's kind of a caricature. I can't say that word. One of those funny drawings of a face. So
oh yeah, it's cool.
I don't know if they did that or one of their fans did it, and but they often come to our shows. Not sure if they're here tonight or not, but. We've been catching up with them on Twitter. And I don't know, did you see part 2 of the Volvo limited slip locker for the Dana 30?
Yes, I did. Yeah, the guys did some good work on that, and I saw your comment, which was very good advice for them as well.
Oh, on YouTube, yeah.
Yeah, and I commented on their YouTube channel as well. So. So I'm looking forward to that part 3, hopefully, that they're going to be putting out here soon.
Boy, they were catching some hell. You could see it by the look in their face and the way they were talking. They were catching some hell about that being a locker. It's a limited slip. But it seems like for it to be something that's under $100 and fits into a Dana 30 with just a minor amount of trimming on one of the axles.
Yeah.
That's I think that's a cool story, especially when it comes out of a Volvo. It's that just amazes me. I'm sure there's some logic behind that, why it fits. It's probably a Dana 30 type axle that's in the Volvo, but still, it was just really cool. That came out of left field, and that was one of those stories that the Paps Blue Ribbon boys clued us in on, and actually posted the video up on Twitter and included us in the message as far as who they were sending it out to. So it made it very easy for me to read and notice.
Way cool.
All right, guys. Well, I think we're going to wrap this up, and I don't want to keep Josh up too long. He's been recovering. I'm really surprised he's feeling as well as he's feeling. I was a little. But honestly, what I did today is as soon as Josh commented in XJ Talk chat that he was going to get under the desk and rest a little while at work. I immediately went over and created the document for the show notes in the hopes that if Josh wasn't going to be there, he would at least do the Jeep Tips show notes so that all I would have to do is read it when I was doing the show by myself. So if you went, that's weird, I'm not feeling good, and man, I just got notification that the show notes have been created. That's why, Josh.
Oh, no, that was good times. Yeah, no, I saw that, and I was trying to be a good sport, but man, I was dragging butt this morning, so I really didn't wake up until about noon.
You shouldn't have gone. You should have stayed home, but it looked like it worked out for you.
Yeah, no, I'm hanging in there. I'm a trooper, so I'm managing through. But yeah, I can tell my voice is starting to slide a little bit. My throat's definitely taking a toll tonight. So stressing the voice. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, I kind of got a nasty cold and was really feeling the effects during the Tony and Josh show last night, and was able to make it through all that. But had a little coughing fit just a little bit ago. I had to mute my microphone and stuff. So sucking down the water and the tea and trying to keep everything flowing good. So hopefully we'll be able to make it through a little bit more of the post show and of course our promo as well. And for those in our live audience, you guys are going to have to wait till next week to join back in on the fun. So hopefully we'll see you guys then.
Yep, we're going to record our promo, so that means we have to go and do it all alone so that you guys don't get any kind of spoilers. So you guys have a great night. We'll see you next week. And again, thanks for coming to the live show. And if you're watching us on YouTube, the recorded thing, thanks for taking the time, especially if you watched it all the way to this point. So everybody have a great night or morning or day or 2036 or whatever year you're watching this in. See you later.